Good morning, Prairie UU. Good morning to all who look to the world every day for a new adventure. We are Prairie Unitarian Universalist Church. We are from Parker, Colorado, and we welcome you. I invite you this morning. I invite you who come with a hope of change. Come to be with us to be transformed. I invite you who come with a heart ready for adventure. Come to this place that will challenge you. I invite you who come with a spirit to be ready to be moved. Join us in being moved to interconnectedness. Welcome one and all. From me to you, welcome. Welcome to Prairie UU.
Good morning, Prairie family, friends, and guests. And thanks for joining us on this first spring service of 2021. We're going to start by singing one of my favorite hymns, For the Earth Forever Turning, in honor of this spring day. This song is part of a much larger work called Misa Gaia, produced in 1982 by Paul Winter and a few other composers. This song was written by Kim Oler, who is active in television and theater production. And Paul Winter is still active as a jazz musician. So please join me as you're willing and able in singing For the Earth Forever Turning.
For the earth forever turning, for the skies for every sea, for our lives, for all we cherish, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the mountains, hills, and pastures in their silent majesty, for the stars, for all the heavens, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the sun, for rain and thunder, for the seasons' harmony, for our lives, for all creation, sing we our joyful praise to Thee. For the world we raise our voices, for the home that gives us birth. In our joy we sing, returning home to our blue-green hills of earth.
Welcome to Prairie UU. I offer you a virtual hug that comes with all the love and celebration of our community here today. We hope you feel welcomed and a sense of inclusion. We want to acknowledge you who are joining us also from the first time, whether you are from Parker, Colorado, Atlanta, Georgia, or from Bridge House Ready to Work in Boulder or Aurora, or wherever you are in the world. We welcome you today to join us in our celebration on this beautiful, cold Sunday morning.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be a street light a fire for everyone. Let us sing on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. And bring us back together when the day is done.
This month we focus on commitment. And today we are focusing specifically on what is it to be committed to a new normal. Please join me in these next few minutes of prayer and meditation to reflect on envisioning our future. Today we celebrate what we are given as a community. We look with hope to the future, where more people are welcomed, where more people are cherished, where more people are held as the center of our community. We look to a new future, one that still has COVID, but that COVID is a part of life and no longer the center. A world where we deepen our relations for companionship and partnership as we create new ways of being together in community. As a way to be in community with each other, even though we're not physically present with each other, we come together with our breathing buddies. This is my breathing buddy, as most of you know, Ralph Waldo Jr. And each morning we bring our breathing buddies to show that we have a connection with each other. So I invite you now to share your breathing buddy, and then to rest your breathing buddy close to your chest as we enter this time of prayer and reflection. I invite you, if you don't have a breathing buddy, or if you are able to face a source of inspiration, or to close your eyes as we begin to just breathe together in community. If you are able, I invite you to adjust yourself in your chair or where you're standing or laying, but to position yourself in a way that allows you to be open to the world around you. Relax and release the tension from your body, and just take a deep breath in and out. And breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. One more in and out. Spirit of vision, today I pray for those members of our community who are struggling with seeing a vision for the future. I pray for those who are in a strict way looking to have hope for returning to the past rather than seeing a new way forward. A new way that can be filled with opportunity and potential. Spirit of perspective, help us be open to new ways of being in the future. Help us to celebrate not a return to the past in the coming year, but instead a celebration of novelty and inspiration and hope for newness in the future. Spirit of healing, I ask you to send our love and compassion to those in our Asian American and Pacific Islander communities, to our siblings who are in pain over the attacks that happened in Georgia this week. Spirit of consolation, I ask you to give them compassion, to send them hope and to send them peace as they engage with all of us in this time of mourning. Beloved members of our community, I invite you now to speak peace and love into the world by speaking of those you hold in your hearts at this time. Holding on to the past is a struggle for many of us to do without being able to see the future. If you know of anyone who is struggling with seeing the future as something that is bold and exciting, I invite you to bring them forward with you today. If you are holding anyone else in your heart, I invite you to bring them with you today at this time as well, and to send positive energy to them in the world. If you are joining us in Google Meet on Sunday morning, I invite you to please unmute yourself and speak out loud the name of anyone you are holding at this time. If you are joining us in any other venue or any other time of the week, I invite you to enter that name into the comments or to visit our candles page and let us know who you are thinking of at this time. I invite you now to unmute yourself and to share as a collective as we send goodwill out into the world. I now bind all that has been named and made known to us, and all that has been held in our hearts, maybe unnamed but still known, with the heart and love of this community as we light our chalice flame. Our chalice is a symbol that we are interconnected with each other and with the larger Unitarian Universalist world around us. It is a symbol of our covenant. And I invite you to share in saying our covenant with us, our sacred promise to each other, as we recite our covenant together.
We covenant to be a welcoming and loving community, offering each other fellowship, sanctuary, and a joyful spirit. We seek justice and peace in all our deeds and relationships, and we respect and honor both the individual and the collective search for sacred meaning and truth. We revere and celebrate the diversity of our earth and are guided by the spirit that connects all life as we reach out to offer our best to ourselves, our community, and our world.
May the goodwill that we have shared together and all that we do every day be offered up as a sign that we hold in our hearts, words in our mouths, love in our hearts, our silent presence as we enter these next few moments of silence as a time to share in community our great wonder, our great love, and our great joy for each other.
Hi guys! Today we're going to try to make a heart with our hands. Can you guys try to make a heart? Alright, when we show a heart, we show compassion. Compassion is putting our love into action. The theme this month is commitment, and we have been exploring what we believe is important. We believe curiosity is important. We also believe change and conscience is important. The last is compassion, our love and kindness. Commitment means that we act on what we value and hold important. This week, we explore our commitment to compassion, to love, and kindness. We, as Unitarian Universalists, we have principles. We agree to them together and act on them. These principles are part of who we are. Our second principle has the word compassion right in it. Justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Our proposed eighth principle against racism is about compassion too. These are big words, but they all are connected to love and kindness. Compassion for others means for everyone around us. And today we're going to be watching a video on a book called I Am Enough by Byers. And in the video, there's a quote, "Like the heart, I'm here to love." The message is that each person has worth and the ability for compassion just the way they are.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of Sankofa Read Aloud. Today's story is titled I Am Enough by Grace Byers, and pictures are by Katura A. Bobo. I hope you enjoyed this story. Like the sun, I'm here to shine. Like the voice, I'm here to sing. Like the bird, I am here to fly and soar high over everything. Like the trees, I'm here to grow. Like the mountains, here to stand. Like time, I'm here to be and be everything I can be. Like the champ, I'm here to fight. Like the heart, I'm here to love. Like a ladder, here to climb, and like the air, to rise above. Like the wind, I'm here to push. Like a rope, I'm here to pull. Like the rain, I'm here to pour and drip and fall until I'm full. Like the moon, I'm here to dream. Like the student, here to learn. Like the water, here to swell. Like the fire, here to burn. Like the winner, I'm here to win. And if I don't, get up again. I know that I may sometimes cry, but even then, I'm here to try. I'm not meant to be like you. You're not meant to be like me. Sometimes we will get along and sometimes we will disagree. I know that we don't look the same. Our skin, our eyes, our hair, our frame. But that does not dictate our worth. We both have places here on earth. And in the end, we are right here to live a life of love, not fear. To help each other when it's tough, to stay together. I am enough.
This morning, we will be centering on these words from Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. We sometimes wrongly say it is the absence of creed that is most important to who we are as Unitarian Universalists. This is wrong. Any one of us could practice religious freedom at home on Sunday mornings. We could practice religious freedom all day long, every day, and never come into community. It is the covenant that brings us out of isolation. Covenant that brings us out of selfish concerns, out of individualism, to join ourselves to something greater, to become a part of a community that is working to practice love, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and wisdom together, to find better ways to live our lives and live in the world.
Please respond in community together with the words, "We will reach out together." Faith comes in many forms. For some, it is in a deity. For others, it is in their neighbor. But for all, it must come first and foremost in oneself. Commitment to oneself and others comes with vulnerability and risk. Relationships are not always easy. They have ebbs and flows that change over time. We must remember to always be willing to change with the tides. Like love, commitment is an action word, something we do every day, all day, as work toward a beloved community. When we reach out in love to each other, we can overcome all obstacles. Aho.
As I contemplated what this service would be about, what has kept coming to mind was a TV show from 2012. It was called The New Normal. It only lasted one season, but it was quite significant in its message. The show's premise was all about the all-American family, and they're struggling with tensions over moving forward or backward in time, culture, attitude. In this series, a gay couple is at a point in their relationship where they've decided that they want to have a child via IVF and to get married. And this is the first time now that we've seen this on US TV. With all of this comes a mother who is not accepting of her son's sexuality, his life choices, his employees at his work, and much more. And I think that the reason that the show has come to mind for me is because of the underlying premise that you can't go back, which is what the mother, Jane, is insisting that happens. The rest of the family is asking her to move forward, to understand that this is what the new world looks like. No matter how nostalgic we are for it, the past is the past, and they ultimately tell her, Mom, Grandma, it needs to be there. One of the favorite lines of the show is when the two prospective dads are discussing all the possibilities before them. And one looks and turns to the other and says, look around. Your idea of traditional might need a refresh. And I think these words were profound in 2012, and I think they are profound in 2021, because I think that after all that we've been through in this last year of living in a virtual world, all that we've been through in the changes and transformations that we've had to do, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to go backwards? Do we want to really look at things and hold on to traditions the way they were? Do we want to look at traditions and ask ourselves what we can keep and hold forward? And do we really just want to ask ourselves what needs to be refreshed? Over these past few years now, as you all know, Prairie has changed. And while we know it hasn't always been easy, I do believe that it has been for the best. As I've said many times, among all the other ordinary changes that Prairie has gone through, which is regular church cycle and communities go through, we must also recognize that recently there have been some really radical and significant changes here. It wasn't too long ago that you all went through preparing for and the departure of a long time loved, beloved minister. And there was changes in staff that went along with that. There was a very brief moment where you were without a minister. And then I arrived and you had the arrival of a new minister and new staff. There was also a new visioning process which happened, which was developed setting new goals through the appreciative inquiry. And now there was an additional layering this past year of a focus with widening the circle. And we mustn't forget that we also received a call from the UUA to make a more in-depth commitment to anti-racism and anti-oppression work, both in our congregational communities and with the community at large. There was a call to reach out to more members of our community. All of this, along with a new minister, has driven us to continue to reevaluate, to redesign, and to refresh our systems, our operations, our way of being together in community, and how we interact with each other. All of this is in hopes to move forward to a less hierarchical model of leadership, to a model that is more complex shared ministry that is aimed at giving more voice to more people in the community on a variety of levels, from the member to the volunteer to the leader. And lastly, over the past few years, we have been living in a world that has drastically changed. We've heard an outcry for a new way to be in community and to defend the most vulnerable in our community. We have lived through and are living through a pandemic and great racial struggle in this country, of which the latter has resulted in the deaths of 8 more people this week, 6 of whom were Asian and Pacific Islander women who are the victims of racism in our country. As I stand here before you today and look both backward and forward, I really say to myself, I miss a lot of what church used to be. I miss seeing people in person on Sunday and multiple days of the week. I miss the sometimes important and other times not so important conversations during fellowship hour, after service, and other just base conversations that we would have over meals together. I miss the hugs and the smiles and the laughter and the sounds of children running around. I miss the looking for lost children who have escaped to distant parts of the building. And I miss all these things and 1,000 more. I'm sure you miss them too. I miss being able to talk and walk around the sanctuary with a microphone in hand, being able to ask you questions. Questions like, what do you miss? I miss it all, and I'm sure you do too. I also ask myself, as I look back and I look forward, do I really want to return to all of those ways that we used to do church? And a very simple answer is no. I don't want to return to all the things we used to do and all the ways we used to do them. I want to move forward. I want to move forward with a hope for a new normal, asking, what of our traditions might we need to refresh? And just a simple question, honestly, of Sunday morning and what that will look like comes with 100 other questions. Questions like, when will we move to having in-person services? Where will they be? What time will they be? Who will lead? Will we be able to sing? How will we continue to engage our marginalized community members, our seniors, our sick, our children, our new members who are visiting from a distance? We will be hosting services both in person and online. What new challenges will that bring as we move forward with the newly refreshed Sunday morning tradition? And these are, to me, the easy questions. And as we look forward to our new normal and refreshed future, we will be reimagining our centers. I will be continuing to ask our leadership to center our membership's needs by asking, how are we holding our vision, our mission, our covenant? How are we holding each other accountable to each of those? I believe that our leadership is doing wonderful work in asking those questions, but we're going to have to push harder. And this said, it seems to me that over time, as we now are hearing even more and more, there has been a sense of a broken trust in our community. People have felt for a significant amount of time that their voice, if it is a voice of dissent or opposition, that it will be ignored or devalued. It is brought forward to light that there is a culture within this community that seemingly is preferencing silence and political rightness over challenge and struggle. And this to me is antithetical to our covenant. If we are to be a covenantal community, we have to be, in the words that we can refresh of John Buren, from his Blessed Are Those litany, which I'd like to share with you now. John Buren tells us, blessed are those who yearn for deepening more than escape, who are not afraid to grow in spirit, who take seriously the bonds of community, who regularly join in celebration and learning, who come as much to minister as to be ministered unto, who bring their children. Blessed are those who invite their friends and come along to join in fellowship, service, learning, and growing. Those who support the church and its work by their regular, sustained, and generous giving. Those who give of themselves no less than their money. Blessed are those who know that the church is often imperfect, yet rather than harbor feelings of anger or disappointment, bring their concerns and their needs to the attention of church leaders. Blessed are those who, when asked, serve, do it gladly, and who realize that change is brought about through human meeting. Blessed are those who do the work of committees and stay till the end. Those who speak their minds in meetings. Those who can give criticism, who keep alive their sense of humor. Those who know that the work of the church is transformation of society. Those who have a vision of a beloved community, transcending the present. And blessed are those who do not shrink from controversy, sacrifice, or change. And he concludes with, blessed are those indeed. As we move forward with refreshed traditions, refreshed ways of being together, I am asking you all to take more time to be more engaged as we center our stories, as we center others' stories, as we center the lives and needs of those around us. I will ask us all to continue to deepen our listening skills by showing up, being present, and by being vulnerable and authentic. I will ask us to follow the sentiment attributed to St. Francis of Assisi. I'll ask you to preach our gospel of good news every day, and only when you have to use words. May we be open to transformation as we move toward a new normal with refreshed traditions that foster more connections, deeper connections, stronger connections between us all. I ask that as we go forward, we invite refreshed traditions, refreshed ways to communicate, and refreshed community building as we move forward into this new world that is hopefully no longer 100% virtual, but a hybrid, something new that we have yet to experience. Blessed be.
Thanks, everybody. I'm going to do this tune for you. It's Benny King's song, I Need More Voice in the Monitors. There we go. Need something. It's a Benny King favorite of yours, Stand By Me. Here we go. When the night is come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, I won't be afraid and I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Come on and stand by me. Come on and stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Come on and stand by me. Stand by me. When the sky that we look upon should crumble and fall, should tumble to the sea, I won't be afraid, and I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand
This is Brenda Peterson, your membership chair, and I also serve as your vice president. We are a community of people who come together in love and support of each other. Being a part of this community means sharing our resources, which include our time, our talent, and our treasure. We need to be taken care of in these variety of ways. One of the teams that does this for us is our membership committee, and I'd like to thank Carol Foster, Jan Cruz, Jim Rogo, Kim Murray, Janet Stevens, and Clark Huff. We also include in this committee some marketing and some communication ideas. Always a thank you to AJ and Vivian and Rhonda as they support this membership committee and our church so much. So again, please remember to do what you can to share your time, your talent, and your treasure, and have a great morning. Thank you.
For all gathered here and for this precious day, let's sing hymn 1010. We give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and this far away, for this time we share with love and care. We give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and this far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
As you know, our services have changed over the last year and some of the things that we do. One of the things that I've asked you is a refreshed tradition. Is as we go forward, we say these words together and in recitation to each other, in response to each other, so that we wish each other and ourselves goodwill as we leave our space. And we say these words of the Reverend Mark L. Bellatini. Go in peace. Live simply, gently, at home in yourselves.
Act justly, speak justly.
Remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness.
Do not desire to be wealthier than your peers, and stint not your hand at charity. Practice forbearance.
Speak the truth, or speak not.
Take care of yourselves as bodies, for you are a good gift.
Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves, and go as you go, with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. Amen. Amin. Shalom. Salam. Namaste. Blessed be. Thank you for joining our service today. I also want to remind you to join us next week. Next week we'll have a little bit shorter service, and then we're going to have our congregational meeting at 11:30 sharp. Don't miss out on it. We're going to be discussing several things, including some visioning for as we go forward next year, or for the next year. And also we'll be talking about suspending part of our bylaws to address a new leadership model that we want to try out. And we'll be looking at some finances, some other things, but I want to make sure that you know that to be here at 11:30 sharp, if you don't, join us at 10:30 at service. So hope to see you all soon. Let me know if you need anything, and we will be building our community every day, all day, 24/7 here at Prairie U. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you soon.
Just bees and things and flowers. 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 My life in the sunshine. Everybody loves